pressure in your face. But I have to say that I think a lot of Khabib's success from observing him since 2012 would be that he doesn't have any room in his brain for anything except what matters to him: friends, family, working out, religion. I'm not saying them in the right order. And he is loyal to everyone by being loyal to the things he cares about. And everything else is not conceivable to him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not conceivable to him. So the average person who grows up in a different world, in a different culture than he did, has a lot going on in their mind. But I think in his mind, it's not like he's super smart. That's not what I'm saying. But he's always focused on this. This is what's important. This is what's. I remember him coming to AKA, and he had on a cream colored collared shirt. Maybe it was a J.C. Penney. I think it had a Fox. He had gotten it from Ross or some place like that. Worked out, went in the bathroom, cleaned it off, washed it out, dried it, put it back on in the hand dryer. And he that was him. He all he was focused on was fighting, getting the right food, getting those things. And there's, I don't know if you saw the submission radio, Javier Mendez talking about when Khabib lived in my home with my son, and all the fighters, all the Russians lived with me. So I have some experience with them, just observing them on the day to day, not just in the practice room. And I've actually been in the corner with Khabib when he and I and Javier Mendez have cornered other people. So I know them. I've been in the locker room, the warm up room with Khabib, Islam, Zabari, all of us there together, Manop. And so I've observed them for a long time in ways that other people just don't have the opportunity to. And their brain is just not cluttered. They have no, it's everything is literal to him. Like everything is, coach, why McGregor can call my wife, what McGregor said, but an American CEO get fired for calling someone a homosexual. It's like it's literal to him. Why is that okay? Why is the world, why is this even being allowed? It does not compute.
Mm-hmm.
He's not thinking about what he's going to wear. He's not thinking about shirts. He's not thinking about anything else. But that, I mean, he has all those things now. I saw some video of Daniel teasing him in Abu Dhabi about his comfortable, his comfortable, expensive shoes, not ones we got over at Ross, or there's this little food key place we eat next to AKA sometimes, which is really just salt and water, but it's so inexpensive, and that's where they go. He has all that stuff now, I suspect, but
Well,
it has no effect on him.
yeah, he seems like one of those guys that what you see is what you get.
He doesn't have that. He's has no guile. He's not coy. He
Yeah,
has no understanding of any of that. It's not, you watch him, you're like, oh yeah, I totally get it.
yeah. That is pretty remarkable because fighting is such a mental sport, and there are a lot of guys out there who's got to talk themselves kind of into some story. I'm this or I'm that. Right before they get into the ring. You even heard Mike Tyson. Everybody knows about this. He walks to the cage or walks to the ring. When he starts, he's nervous. By the time he gets there, he's transformed into this big bad guy. Khabib's different. He seems like he's just always like that.
Always like that. I will say two things. One, I had dinner one time with Javier Mendez, Bob Cook, Scott Coker, who owns Bellator, and Herschel Walker. I think his wife, I'm not sure, but they're a longtime person. And it was funny because they were talking about how Herschel Walker, when he was at AK, this was before I was there, that he's like this very kind, gentle, never cusses. But once he got back in the back before the fight, he's like, you, Evan, like it was so funny because he's so nice. He's so nice. But I think one of the biggest accelerants for Habib's career at AKA, like a natural uplift for him, was the innate and unrecognized intellectual capacity of Daniel Cormier. Daniel is has an emotional IQ and a genuineness that is rarely paralleled. And I grew up in a political family. We moved to Washington, D.C. My parents' political career I mean, I've been around a lot of very astute people, emotionally savvy people who can get people to do things. Daniel is his intellect is so high, and his genuine interest in meeting people at their emotional needs, I think, helped Khabib, helped him on the come up, like through everything that happened, because Daniel would engage with them, and they would, and Daniel just like kept pulling him up as a person. I saw that, felt that around them. That's typical of AKA in general, but and then Javier Mendez, his focus is how to be a better person. He wants to feel comfortable with himself and how he treats other, not whether he's recognized for really who he is. I mean, what he's accomplished. So
Absolutely.
I just want to make sure I say that about Daniel because, I hold him and, he have to consider